bijan.ca.
I'm Bijan, I'm at the Chance Center, and I'm about to present at the Student Leadership Conference. But before I do, I wanted to let you know that Professor Tup and I rehearsed our song this week, and we're ready to go on Friday, January 14th at the Chance Center. There'll be 16 talented performers there that'll rock your world. So make sure you get your tickets at talent.ubc.ca. Now let's go in. Good morning and welcome. My name is Bijan Ahmadian, and I have the privilege of serving as the 101st AMS President, your student society representing more than 46,000 students at UBC Vancouver. Now, representing more people than most mayors do in this province is both a humbling and daunting job. Simply put, there is no training for it, and it's difficult to describe a style of leadership that fits the job. However, when I heard this year's conference theme, Rethinking Leadership, I felt that that's exactly what an AMS president does. But doing it is not as easy as it sounds. That's because rethinking leadership involves taking some risks and making some sacrifices. And I have learned that without doing that, you actually don't get a whole lot done as a leader. Let me show you with an example how rethinking leadership was critical to the AMS this year. As you may have seen on my very first blog post at bijan.ca, I just started blogging a couple of days ago as an alternative to UBC Insiders. One of the most remarkable accomplishments that we had as an AMS was concluding the new sub-agreement. I mentioned in that post that before I took office in February, the negotiations about the building had gone on for 2 very long years without any signs of conclusion. So what did we do differently, and how did we rethink leadership? It started with setting a deadline at the end of April to finish the agreements. To get there, now we had to rethink negotiations. Instead of constantly trying to build consensus on every issue, we created a list of items that the parties simply couldn't agree on. I called it a horse trading list. Now, instead of fighting to convince the university to give the AMS everything we wanted, we figured out what was it that was least important to us and then exchanged it with what was it that was most important to us. We traded lots of horses like that for about 2.5 months, and it was worth it. On April 30th at 6 p.m., we signed the agreements. As an organization, AMS obviously took a risk with this approach because instead of getting everything, we had to make compromises to get the most important things. The process involved personal risks as well. To meet the deadline that I had been a part of setting myself, I had to drop out of some of my courses and cancel a dance performance I was scheduled to do in the summer. My other colleagues of the AMS and UBC also made personal sacrifices to meet the deadline. Now that I'm retiring from my position in a few weeks, I can tell you that I have learned that rethinking leadership involves taking risks and making sacrifices both at an organizational and personal levels. But it can be very rewarding if throughout the process you stick to your principles. My strongest principle this year has been building partnerships. When your student society works well with the university, with the alumni association, with the University Neighborhood Association, we get lots more done for students. I've stood by that principle of building partnerships even when it was inconvenient. Because if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. As you go through the conference, I'm sure you will find your ways of rethinking leadership, and I wish you all the best as you discover your own principles and take the risk to apply the new skills you're going to learn today. I'll see you at the end of the day as the AMS is giving out some exciting swags, including a discount coupon for our food outlets in the sub. Look for a UBC Lift Up sticker in that package for an example of creatively rethinking, having fun, and building community on campus. Have fun today, and I'll see you later. Just presented at the Chance Center at the Student Leadership Conference with over 1,000 students in attendance. And got to tell you about this week. On Wednesday, January the 12th is the next council meeting. The highlights include a visit from Professor Stephen Tup, the UBC president. He's going to make a presentation and do some question and answer. We'll also have a presentation on the future of Block Party this year, as well as something on the budget deficit and the health and dental plan. So stay tuned.